So thank you everyone for joining this presentation, and I hope you all are doing good in this pandemic. Today I'm going to talk about unlocking the digital transformation with the APG. So we'll talk digital transformation with first, what is the digital transformation means actually, and how APG is going to help in that. So as an introduction, Hasil already mentioned that as an API geek, but that is one part of it. I'm API management architect and AWS solution architect. I'm enabling digital transformation via adoption of API first strategy and ensuring the customer success with their API program with the API management tools like APG and Meshri. My primary focus on the API lifecycle and designing the solution around it for the B2B, B2C, and B2B integrations. If we have a same and common interest, please feel free to follow me on the LinkedIn, and I would like to answer any questions and if there is a nice topic to talk about. As part of today's agenda, first I will talk about digital transformation and the role of the API into that. Then we'll talk API management platform APG itself. Then I'll talk about basically what the product and offering are there from the APG, their components, different deployment models, API lifecycle. And API lifecycle, I'll try to do quick hands-on and try to take a real-time use case and do a quick demo. So yeah, a digital transformation. So digital transformation is a process of using the digital technology and creating new or modify existing business processes, creating new customer experience to meet the challenging business requirements. Take the example of Netflix, how they have changed our users' entertainment perspective, how they are changing the entertainment industry, and same goes with Uber. So if you see that digital transformation is a new norm now, it's not optional for the enterprises. If they want to do the business successfully, they have to go digital. And market leaders in the industry like Blockbusters and Borders, who were not ready for the change and not able to adopt the digital transformation at the time, that was the cause of their fall. Why we do the digital transformation? Digital transformation is all about the customer centricity and how we are enhancing the customer experience. This enhancing the customer experience we are doing by the API-led connectivity. In each step of consumer journey, we are providing a tailored customer experience. For example, I'll give you an example of Netflix and open banking solutions, like banks are also going beyond the compliance and open up the account information and payment initiation APIs for the retailers to initiate the payment on behalf of customers. Netflix is tailoring or customizing your experience, the kind of history you have. So these are the few digital transformation example are there that is powered by the APIs. So basically, all the market leaders who has done great in their industry, basically they have pioneered how to open up their function data in the form of API to their partners and B2B customers and employees, and they have created an ecosystem. So they are not themselves developing the business, but they have also created a new way of doing the business with their partners and B2B customers. And basically, their partners and developers are doing the innovation with the enterprises. So this API-led connectivity enhance the innovation, faster time to market, increase the customer experience, and provides the new business opportunities. If you see that, take the example of Expedia, they have opened up their booking APIs to the partners, and now 50% of revenue of Expedia is generating from those partners and from the APIs. There is a few connectivity benchmark reports that I would like to highlight on the how organization are leveraging the APIs. There is an increment in the productivity, innovation, employee engagement, agility, and increase in the line of business demand by the 58, 48, 38%. So these are the few figures that tell you that how useful APIs are in today's digital transformation age. But it's fine. Like we got to know that now business has to transform. Under the hood, it's API that solves the problem, but there is a lot of question that is unanswered. When organization start using APIs, there is a lot of question that is not answered yet, like security. If you take the example of Facebook, in the last 3 years, couple of times they have ending up opening the users data to from their developer APIs, and they have risked the millions of users personal email ID and their profiles. So security cannot be afterthoughts, and what we can do about it. So that was a major question: how you are enabling the developers, how you are telling them what the APIs are available, how they can innovate, and what are the already innovation that you have developed. So basically, there was a question around the developer engagement. There is a speed of to speed IT, because your legacy system, that your ERP system or SAP system, do not change frequently, but your app and your consumer, their experience demands agility. They want to change frequently. So how we are mapping this speed? So for that, we need a middle layer that can do the transformation and meet the market demands. That was another question. And how you are facilitating end-to-end API lifecycle? That was also a question. For that, there is a product that we call the API management product, that is called APG. APG is a flagship product from the Google, is the market leader according to the Gartner Magic Quadrant. It's I think last 6 or 7 years it is a market leader in the API management tool. So what it's allow you, it's allow to facilitate complete API lifecycle. It's allow you to design. It's provide open API specification editor where you can design the APIs, you can collect the feedback from the developers, and then you can build on top of that. You can secure, you can scale, and you can publish the documentation to developers. Afterwards, you need to monitor this behavior, how your APIs are performing, what is the adoption rate. These kind of things you can do in the monitoring solution of the APG. Then there is an opportunity to analyze and create your future roadmap for your API program. And also it's provide you facility to monetize your APIs. So complete life cycle in one package, that brings you Google APG. APG has a three products: APG Edge, APG Sense, and monetization. APG Edge is a flagship product where you do everything, like you create API, you build it, you basically all the things that is related to API, create a product and push the documentation to developer portal is all on the APG. APG Sense is behavior detection intelligent security tool that helps to prevent credential stuffing, content scraping, and malicious key and authorization token. So it's a security tool. And APG monetization that help you to create business revenue out of your APIs and manage the billing. We will see each other component in the detail in the later in this presentation. What the product? There is a three kind of we see in APG Edge. APG has a three kind of product, like developer services, gateway services, and analytic services. Developer services we will see in the details. Like developer services, we have like how if your organization is providing the APIs to do some kind of innovation around it, or building some kind of customer experience around that. So how you are telling to the developers to use that. So basically you are publishing the documentation, and it's providing the self-service portal for the developers to register their app, get the keys, play around with the documentation. And you can also provide the client SDK, developer support, and you can build a community around that. So it's all about developer evangelism or developer service. Then gateway, as I mentioned, here you design your API, build that, test it, ensure their security, do the audit logging, do all the programming that you required, maintain the design standards, governance, and best practices. That is your API gateway. If you are familiar with the API team, they spend most of their time into the API gateway service. Analytics services, because analytics is quite important, because complete business run on the APIs nowadays. So any kind of thing that can cause a problem, and your reputation as well as customer experience can hamper due to that. So you need to see that how your different KPIs about the APIs, how developer analytics, ops metrics, business metrics, app performance, and you can also plan for the high availability and fault tolerance. You can do the capacity planning on the analytics services of the APG. We will see components. So on the leftmost side, there is a mobile app that you see that send the request to do message processor, and that is a gateway of APG, and that handles a request and connect to the backends. In meanwhile, if they need to process any policies or any runtime, they connect with the runtime data store, collect that information, process that. At the same time, they are sending the asynchronous analytics to the analytics services. Management API management services is the core component that ensure that all the components are synced and running successfully. It also exposes the management API that is used by the management UI and developer portal, that can also used by the operations team to do the CI/CD automation and a whole lot of things. If you see the flexible deployment models, so there is a three kind of deployment models. One is use SaaS version, where runtime plane and management plane both are managed by the Google Cloud. Another thing, if you want to take the control and you want to do the things by your own, then you can install the APG on private cloud, as well as on the private cloud as in form of infrastructure as a service, and in the private data center as well. If you want to do the things and you want to install runtime at your data center or in your cloud, but you want to shift or do not own the management responsibility, that you want to hand it over to the Google, then there is a hybrid deployment option possible for that. There is a Anthos, that is a multi-cloud container management system that you can utilize to run your container-based runtime environment in any cloud. This is a platform architecture that I wanted to show. So basically here I have taken the example of hybrid installation of Anthos. So if you see rightmost column, APG is installed on the on-premise data center and it's connecting to the backend. In the middle, it's API management, APG management, and it's a management plane where you do the developer portal, API management portal, monitoring, security, analytics, and monetization. On the leftmost part, there is a B2B, B2C, or B2E partners who is connecting to the APIs on the APG layer. For the lifecycle management, you have Jenkins, Maven, SonarQube, and other stuff. Now I'm going to explain about API lifecycle. At here in this place, I will quickly switch back to the console where I'll design the APIs and see how we can do that hands-on. But before going to dive deep, I'll take the example that what we are going to build. So let's take an example of organization. In this case, we are telling that this is a Capgemini organization, and they are trying to build, or they have a weather API that they want to expose to their mobile app B2B consumers. So what they will do, they will build the proxy layer on the APG. That is the second step. Now they have their API ready in the proxy at the APG layer. So they want to create a product out of it, and they want to push that product into the developer portal, so it can be discoverable by other developers also. So now there is a mobile app, and mobile app is ready to consume the weather API. So depending on the location, weather API, what this app will do, this app will call weather API and populate the weather report in that particular location. So for accessing that weather API, this mobile app needs to be registered at the developer portal, get the keys, subscribe to the product, and then start accessing it. So next step is to register this application into the developer portal. Now this app will have their own key. They are subscribed to the product. Now they are sending the request to the backend, and it is getting validated at the APG. You can pass the API key, and there is other security mechanism like token that can be done. And once that is successfully done, then API backend will send the response. And if there is any modification required, you can do at APG layer. And on the while sending back a response back to the client, you can also log the messages. So this is the example that we are going to try out into the console. So in the API lifecycle, first thing is design. So design is, you really need to go to the developer's shoes, understand their need, and design accordingly. An API is as good as the, like how developer understand, and how easy it is for developer to use. So in the design, you need to take care of couple of things, like how you are designing your API. Keep the things simple as much as possible. Use nouns at place of verbs. So like customers is a good resource apart from get customer, and try to use plurals, like at a place of customers is a good resource. Try to hide the complexity behind the query parameter. Try to use pagination if you are returning the same kind of object. Proper error response, and try to send the correlation ID to track the messages. uh, Versioning is an important part, like how you are doing the versioning in query parameters or header. It doesn't really matter. uh, Nowadays very much popular is query string versioning, but it has to be consistent. Either you are choosing the query string versioning or header based versioning, both are fine, but it has to be consistent across your enterprise. It doesn't need to change frequently. Query string versioning is famous because it is easily discoverable by the tools available, and header based versioning is the guidelines of the Richardson maturity model. So both are fine. And at the end, you need to give the HETIOS link to traverse the other resources available. So I'll quickly switch back to console and try to show you that how to design this API. So basically, I have already Open API specification ready. That is a weather API. So basically, this is a Swagger definition. I have info, servers, security related details, path, everything is ready. So what I will do is I will directly import this on the APG Edge console. So here I'm here. If you log in, you can sign up. So basically, I will ask him to send you the sign up URL of the APG account. Google APG provides you the trial account, and you can do whatever I'm doing right now, and you can try out by yourself. And all the other related information you will find after this presentation in the GitHub. So Kim will send you the sign up URL for this portal. And what I'm going to do is I'm directly going to the spec. So I'm in design phase. I'm going to design the API basically. So I'm going to import the file that is already available. So I have taken the BLD demo YAML, and this is the things that you have just seen in the editor. So, and if you see it, there is a Open API specification editor. Here you can try out the things and understand how the API works. So you can design your APIs in the console itself. So that is first part that we have addressed, design the APIs. Next, we are going to develop the APIs. So in the develop, there is a four kind of different policies that you can attach: traffic management, mediation. So in the traffic management, if you want to limit the number of API calls for particular clients, you can do that. You have facility to use the caching. If you want to do any transformation or some validation like SOAP, message validation, or extract variable policy to extract some variable and put your value that you want. Some conversion like XML to JSON or JSML to XML operation. Key value map is there to if you want to store some information at runtime, that you can do. There is also some security policies like OAuth and verify API key and SAML assertion validation, regular expression. So that will help you to protect your APIs through the malicious attack. And if your use cases is not covered, then probably you can write APIs policies in the Python and the JavaScript as well. So I'm going to editor again and try to build the APIs. So we have spec ready. Now I'm going to create APIs proxy basically. So I'm going to use the definition that I have built previously in the first step. I'm going to use that. So now it's showing that you have already API exists with this name. I will change the name. So Open Weather Map API VLD that we are going to develop. And in the policy, I can attach the policy right away, but I'm not going to do that as of now. Then this is the operation that is going to configure. Then you can decide where you want to configure, like only the HTTP or HTTPS connection also. So, and the last, you are going to deploy this API either production or test environment. I'm going to deploy at the both places. So it will take a while. And now if you see, you can access this API through this URL available. But let's add a more complexity into that. It is very simple as of now. So we have nothing to done yet. We have just created the proxy around it. But what we are going to do is I'm going to add few policies that I have just explained in the presentation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add first API key validation policy. That is a part of security. So if you see here, there is a traffic management, security, mediation, and the extension policies that I have just explained in the presentation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add API verify key policy here. So here it's asking that you need to pass the API key in the query parameter, but I want to change it to a header. Okay, that is one policy that I have just added. It is taking time. Okay, and now I want to add second policy. Second policy, probably I will add quota policy. So I'm adding the quota policy from here. But I want to change something in the quota policy. So I have already designed the quota policy here, and I want to attach in this. So quota policies here. And now your APIs are ready. So if I go to the presentation again, if you see, then we are ready. We have attached the security also, like a verify API key also. Now it's time to publish that API onto the developer portal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to editor again. Okay, so I'm going to go to editor, create an API product. So now I'm going to publish this API to the developer portal. So what I'm going to do is I will create a BLD app. I want to give to access to public, display name BLD app. And yeah, and I want to add the proxy. So I want to add this weather map BLD API into this. I have created the product successfully. But this product is not available into developer portal yet. For that, I need to go to API catalog and add this particular product here into the developer portal. So BLD app is available, and I'm going to add this. I want to publish it. API documentation. This will show you the Swagger API definition that we have created in the BLD demo. Its visibility, you can control the visibility also. Like if you want to keep it for the internal users, you can do that. So there is a different means that you can control the visibility of the documentation. So it is done. So this documentation or this particular API is on the developer portal publish. Now the third thing is to register an app and start get the key for this particular product and start accessing it. For that, I will request Kim to send you the sign up URL for the developer portal. So in the chat, you can see that there will be a URL for the developer portal. In meanwhile, I will log in from myself. So if you see that I have one mobile app registered, this is an app ID, and I have an API key. And if you see here, there is only two products. One is weather product and Capgemini mock test product. BLD app is not yet enabled. So I'm going to enable it. And you can also do that. You can go to the URL, sign up for and register for the register app and get the keys for this particular product and start accessing the APIs the way I am doing it. So this particular developer portal I have customized and designed for this particular demo. So we have the keys, and I'm going to take this key so that we can use that. I'm copying the key in the notepad. So basically I have a key here, and now I'll go to the API product again. So here is the proxy that I have developed. This is a BLD API that we built. And I'm going to copy this URL. And I'm going to the Postman now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this URL. Okay. This URL, and probably I need to replace the key also, API key that we have copied here. And go to the Postman and replace this key. And Amsterdam query parameter is fine. So basically I'm going to check whether information about the Amsterdam. Yeah, so it's working. So we have seen that how Capgemini has Capgemini as an enterprise has exposed their API, weather API, and mobile app, how they are going to consume this particular APIs. Now I'll switch back to the presentation again. Yeah. Security is also like end-to-end in the complete digital value chain, from user to app or developer and the API team and backend. Each touch point is secure by some means, like user is secure by OAuth or federated login. App is by API key or OAuth and mutual TLS. Developer has SSO login and rollback access control. We have threat protection policies for the APIs, and the backend is also connected to the mutual TLS or southbound VPN. Publishing of the documentation we have seen, and how to see that in developer portal, we have already seen it in the demo. This is the developer portal, and for the enterprise of Atradius that we have as a Capgemini design for that. Monitoring and analytics. So for that, API program success depends on that how good your API is. So you need to monitor the KPIs in the detail. So APG provides a different kind of matrices for the developer app issues, for proxy performance, platform issues, and backend issues. If I'll go and show you the in the console, there is analyze metrics, and if you see, there are different matrices for the API metrics, like how the KS performing, how the API proxy performance, error code analysis, developer engagement, traffic consumption, and other like what is the adoption rate of the your APIs that you can locate in the GeoMap metrics. And if your requirement is still not done, you can draw the custom metrics. This also provides alerts for your Slack channel and your basically email, so you can generate the alerts on the some matrices. It also provide seamless integration with the ELK stack, where you collect, analyze, and visualize different kind of graph. The matrices that you will be interested, maybe the request latency, request size, target errors, consumption assessment, or insufficient data center capacity. There is a monetization capability. I have already discussed it. So it's provide you to create various revenue models, payment and billing capabilities, flexible reporting, and developer portal integration. At the last but not the least, it's also provide you to management APIs to do it complete automation, design your CI/CD pipeline, and do it seamlessly. So you will need to create the API proxy template. Basically, API proxy template is nothing but your APIs, inbound, outbound targets, different kind of security and policies, and the product, how you have designed your product, and communication details. So these things you are passing into the GitHub, basically your version control. Then there will be automatic build trigger that will do the code analysis and unit testing. You will deploy that bundle and do the functional testing and performance testing, publish the report, and update the docs. And there is a support for, in each step, there is a support for the toolings, like source code can be managed in GitHub and Bitbucket, build can be done into Jenkins and Bamboo, code analysis, Sonar, and API Fortis. For the deployment, there is Excel tool, Excel Deploy and Jenkins. performance testing, we have the Gatling and Postman, and developer portal and Confluence for updating the docs. So that's all from my side, gentlemen. Thank you for your time. Over to Hasil.
Thank you, Kapil, for your presentation. I think you have given a good overview of the challenges we encounter when we are working on digital transformations and using APIs to solve them, and also given a nice demo of what FPG can mean for this. I have one question from the audience. It's from Ashish Singh. And the question is, please suggest other available API gateway. How to decide which one is best for my business case?
Okay, that is the interesting one. So I think it's a very good use case for Capgemini initiative, that is integration in a week. So where we do the research at the customer place and try to tell them which product suits according to their need, and try to build some use cases within a week. So as specific to Ashish's answer, I would like to say there is a couple of products that is available already in the market. That is one is from the MuleSoft that we are going to see in the next session, APG from the Google. There is TIBCO Mastery. And it's really depend what is your need and how much cost you want to invest into your API program. And you really need to see that features that you require the most. So you need to prepare a list. What is your mandatory features? What is can be optional? And you need to compare these tools. As I mentioned, if you see the Gartner reports, APG is the best product as of now in the market. But MuleSoft is not that behind. Dell Boomi is also one of them. So I think it's a good use case to integration in a week, Ashish.
Thank you. Let's see if there are other ones. These were the questions we had now. So yeah, people can find you on LinkedIn and on by email if they have other questions.
Yep.
Thanks for your presentation again. Oh, sorry, there's one other one. How accessible is FPG when coming from different integration technologies?
I think it's pretty good. I don't see as a integration stack. I take it as a there is a two way of looking at it. One is from bottom to up when you come from the integration background and you are looking to product to fit that need, and other one is you are coming from the microservices and SOA background where you are try to manage the API lifecycle. So I would say that from the API management perspective, APG is the better product. But if you see from the integration perspective, there is capability of integrations for a lot of products, and it's integrated seamlessly whatever the products you have in your enterprise. But you really need to see that what is the use case and what is the product that you are asking for.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Asil. Thank you, everyone.